Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, coming to you from the Pixel 4, we're going to be looking at how you can use things that you already have to achieve the shots that you want. Let's dive in. As a relatively new creative, you're always looking for the new and the best ways to do things. However, when you're new into being a creative, you don't always know what the best ways are. You watch a lot of YouTube videos, you try to get advice from people, you learn the ways that they do it, but then you look at the equipment that they have available and you realize, I don't have those things. Maybe you don't even have a DSLR. Maybe all you've got is your phone. Maybe it's even a little bit older phone. But you know, one of the important things to realize as you're starting to create, as you're starting to get into videos, film and such, is that you can do more with what you already have than you realize. It's more about trying things and making things work. Let me show you what I mean. A few days ago, my Pixel 4 showed up, which is actually what I'm recording this video on. We're going to do this whole video as much as we can on the Pixel 4 in a way to kind of showcase its capabilities, and also because, well, I need my camera for being in shot. Anyhow, the other day I realized I needed a good thumbnail for my video about my Pixel 4 unboxing and my initial thoughts on it. But I don't have anywhere where I can shoot nice flat lays. A flat lay is something that I've really wanted to try for a while. Peter McKinnon shoots amazing flat lays. I love his flat lays so much. I see a flat lay by Peter McKinnon and I'm just like, it's just so good. And so I was kind of wanting to recreate that. But in trying to do that, I realized I have no way of doing that. It was basically like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I started thinking about, all right, how do I want to set this up in my mind? Obviously I can get everything flat easy enough, but what am I going to shoot it against? One of my first thoughts was I could shoot it against some of like this wood grain that I have. I've got the keyboard tray that I could pull out and I could get the shot up above and I could lay everything out. And then I realized that background just doesn't really work. And on the back of my Pixel now, I've got a nice D brand skin of like mahogany wood. And so it just completely clashed. So that was not going to work. From there, I was still trying to figure out, all right, what can I do with what I have? I started looking around my room. And one of the things I really wanted would be a black background. I was like, where am I going to get a black background? And then I realized something. I realized I have here, my pet snake has this black box. And we've got this nice black surface that we could use. It's a nice black matte surface. It's not glossy. We're not going to really get reflection off of it. And so it was like, this is our surface. This is what we're going to shoot on. And then I went, how the heck are we going to shoot on this? Let's try setting up the shot. So one of the first things I did, obviously, was clear off where we're going to be shooting. I noticed that we were getting reflection from these pictures, so we went ahead and removed the pictures. That way we're not getting the light reflection onto our shooting surface. So this left us basically with a nice surface without any reflections, without anything that's going to get in our shot. We wiped all the dust off of it, so we had a nice clean black matte surface to shoot on. However, what then happened next turned out to, well, be somewhat disappointing. So we had to try to line up the camera. And you know, you've got to get the camera so that it's up above what you're going to be shooting. Problem. Wish as I might, my tripod was just not tall enough to get it to where the camera would be directly over where we were going to be shooting. So what do you do when you run into a problem? You get creative. Bringing my nice gaming chair over here, we brought this around, brought it in, and we adjusted the legs. Now it took a bit of adjusting, but eventually we wound up with something that looked like this. We took these two legs, put them up against the wall, so they're kind of between the wall here where they're not really going to move. We reversed this, so instead of it coming out the top, it now comes through the middle so we can point the camera straight down to our surface. And then this leg, we're able to rotate out farther, so we pulled that out, let it rotate out farther, and we used the chair as kind of an anchor for it, propping it up against here so that we can keep this angle. So with the camera on, it became a little more obvious that it wasn't level, so we go ahead, we get it level by extending out this outside arm here. Extending that is how we'll get the camera so that it's nice and level with the surface. And then with that looking pretty parallel, we're ready to take the test shots. Now this is when things started to get a little bit more interesting. Having everything kind of set up here, we ran into the problem of, okay, the camera's set up, but the only way I could see the shot was on the camera's display. Unfortunately, my phone was part of the shot, so I couldn't use my phone as a display or as a monitor. And also, my camera was having issues connecting to the Wi-Fi, so I couldn't use one of my computer screens as a monitor. So I had to rely on the little teeny tiny display to get everything lined up. But it wound up working out okay. Taking the mic off to give us access to the flash, and then to ensure that we're getting a nice even exposure, getting everything lined up where we want it, we go ahead and we take our mic off so that we can get some flash. And we hopefully get a nice even exposure here. So let's go ahead and take our first shot. Alright, so looking at this first shot, you can see we have a few issues. Our lighting isn't quite right. We've got lighting coming from above, we've got lighting coming in through the window now. So let's start adjusting things a little bit so we can try to get our lighting nice and even. To help with our lighting, I went ahead and closed the blinds more so that the light reflects more off the ceiling than it does directly over. And then to help with the incandescent light, I went ahead and I just put a piece of paper underneath the light so that it would turn into a type of softbox effect. Basically blocking any immediate light from coming down and creating any harsh light situations on our surface. Having done this, we are then ready to test shoot again. Alright, as you can see then with our second picture, we're getting a much smoother lighting. We're not getting so much of the incandescent with the white. It's a lot more flat, which is what we're wanting. Switching the camera then into a manual mode so we could control the aperture, the ISO, and the shutter speed in order to get more of the photo that we actually want. We had to tweak things a little bit more in order to get the lighting right. One of the first things you'll notice immediately is that we needed the flash on. However, our flash was much too high. Luckily, on this camera, the Canon 80D, I'm able to adjust the flash strength. Now, something else to note with the flash, in order to make sure that our flash isn't too harsh, we want to do a similar thing that we did with the light that's above our shooting area. And we want to try to softbox it. We want to try to diffuse that light so that our flash isn't just harsh against our subject. To achieve that, we just grabbed another piece of paper, just plain white printing paper, and we went ahead and we put some tape on it, stuck it between the camera and the support arm. Now, as you can see, before we even played with the flash settings more, just adding the extra piece of paper to help diffuse that light made the flash much softer against the subject. However, in an effort to try to get it to be softer, we're going to go ahead and we're going to raise the camera up as high as we can get it to go and see if that will help. Once we got it to where the tripod couldn't get the camera any higher, we went ahead and we shot again. This provided two advantages where we could both shift everything closer to where the flash was, as well as softening the flash as it was farther away. Having pretty well positioned everything where we want it, we get the final picture. Alright guys, that'll wrap it up for this video. I hope you found it educational, I hope you found it informative, and I hope you now have some ideas of how you might go out and get some of those shots you're really wanting to get. So go out, get some cool shots, post them, and I'll see you guys next time. So long.